Hello. In this video, we will cover about UI website which we made for this project. Okay. Like what are the functions we used? How that functions will work in at the back end. So these things we will cover in this video. Okay. To run this website or to run this UI code, first initially you have to open Anaconda Navigator. Yes. So just launch this Anaconda Navigator. After launching this Anaconda Navigator, you have to select project environment here. Okay. Then you have to you have to launch this VS Code via project environment. So just launch this VS Code. Okay. After launching this VS Code, you have to open this website folder here. Then open this web credit and then select this path. Okay. After selecting this path, go to VS Code, click on File, then select Open Folder. Here you have to paste that path and press Enter. After pressing Enter, you have to click on Select Folder. Okay. After that, you have to click on app.py. Okay. After clicking on app.py, you will get the option on the right corner, that is to run the code. Okay. If you don't have any option, then just go to extension. Here you have to type Python. Okay. And then select first extension. Open this and install this extension. After installing this extension, close this extension, go to Explorer, uh, open this app.py, and then you will get the option that is a play button. Okay. And another thing is, just make sure on at the bottom here you like that project name should be appear over here. If that project is not there, then you just have to do one thing, that is press Control Shift and P. Okay. After that you have to type Python colon select. After typing this, you will get second last or the last option, that is a select interpreter. So just open this and select project as an environment. Okay. Then you will get project here at the bottom. You will get project environment. Now after opening this app.py file, what you have to do, you just have to run this file by clicking on this play button. Okay. And after that, on terminal you will get one message, that is your IP address colon 5000. Okay. After getting that message, you just have to open any browser and then you just have to copy that link, just and then paste it over here. After pasting it, just press enter. Okay. So this is how you can run the code. Okay. But what we did to get the like to establish the connection between front end and the back end. Okay. So what is the code behind that? So we'll explain now. So first, initially we import some libraries, okay, which is useful for our project. So first we import Flask, and from that Flask we import all the libraries which is available in that in this library. Okay, some sub functions are there which we have to import. So we import via star. Then here we import secure file name, uh, which is used to access the file name. Okay, like if I want to upload any file, maybe it's a mp3, mp4, or any image file or any document file. Okay, if I upload that file, so I have to store that file in my system with same name. Okay, so this secure file name will help me to access the name and like to access the name, and I can after accessing that name, I can store that file with same name. Okay. So just to access the name, name of any file, this secure file name will help. Okay, then we import pickle as we discussed in previous video. Okay, then here we import PyMySQL. PyMySQL is used to establish the connection between Python and MySQL. Okay, so we have to store some kind of data in database. Okay, and we have to retrieve that data from that database. So for that we have to make the connections between MySQL and Python. So for that purpose we use this PyMySQL. Then a random function is there, which is used to do some random things. Like if you have any list and you want to select any random value from that list, then you can use this random. Or if you want to generate some random values, then you can use this random function. Then this is a math function which is used to do some mathematical functions. Then this is SMTP, MIME. These are the these are the libraries which is used to send the mail. Okay, so these are the APIs which is used to send the mail. So via mail you can send either you can send text, or with some attachments you can send the mail. Okay, so but for that we need some API keys. Okay, based on a Google. Okay, after that we import pandas library, which is used to manipulate the CSVs. Okay, manipulation in the sense, if I want to drop few columns or rows, and if I want to drop some null values, or if I want to fill that null values with some mean of that column, or with that zero. Okay, or if I want to find out some unwanted, or if I want to check whether this value is available in whole data frame or not. Okay, like that. So there are so many functions you can use to manipulate the CSV in the sense comma separated value. It's an Excel value, Excel sheet. Okay, so you can manipulate any kind of Excel sheet or any kind of JSON file. Okay, then here we import datetime. Datetime is actually used to access the current date, or to access the day after tomorrow date or a time. Okay, so you can manipulate via date time. Then these are the warnings. So if we get some warnings, so we have to ignore that value, ignore that warnings. Okay, so for that we import these warnings to ignore. Okay, after importing some libraries, we have to initialize this Flask. Okay, first of all, what is Flask? Flask is basically a framework which is used to integrate front end and back end. Okay, like whatever the functionalities user will do on front end, that functionalities we have to handle at the back end. Okay, so for example, there are some forms, and if I submit that form, my data should be stored in database. Okay, so to access the data, manipulate the data, and store in the database, so that things we have to do. But we have to access the data from HTML, and we have to store in MySQL via Python. Okay, so we are integrating three different languages. So at that time, this Flask will help. After that this Flask is nothing but a framework is nothing but it's a set of rules we have to follow. Okay, like if we use a Django, then we have to we have to create any kind of project. Then we have to create some applications under that projects. Okay, and then we have to uh, map the URLs, that application URLs with the project. Okay, so we have to mention that each URL in project file. Okay, we have to map that URLs in with some functions which is available in views.py. Okay, so these are the certain rules, so that some kind of rules are available in Flask also. So in Flask we also have to follow that rules. Like we have to maintain three things. First is a static, templates, and app.py. Okay, so first one, that static contains all CSS, JavaScript, images, audios, videos, fonts. Okay, all the things you can store in static. In templates, we only have to store HTML files. Okay, and in app.py we have to write a code for Flask and all the functions. So there are some syntax we have to follow to run the whole code and get the Flask framework like in on state. Okay, so we have to initialize this Flask first. So this is how we can initialize, and we can store this Flask in one variable, that is the app. So you can call it like you can name it differently. Okay, then we define some global variables. Global variables in the sense, for example, I declare one variable in this function. Okay, and I want to use this variable in outside, like outside of this function I want to use this. Okay, so at that time how can I use this? Okay, so for that what I have to do, I have to declare it as a global. Okay, after declaring that global variable, after declaring this variable as a global, I can use anywhere. Okay, so that's why we use this, that's why we declare some variables globally. Okay, after that we declare some functions, like we define some functions. In that function we use PyMySQL to connect to the database. So to for that connection we define some like we pass some parameters, that is a host name, username, then password, database name, and char set. Okay, these are the things we have to pass to this PyMySQL.connect. So it will connect to this database based on these parameters. So it will establish the connections. After making the connection, we have to return that. Okay, and if we get some errors, like if we got some exceptions, then we have to print that exceptions. So for that we print our own exception, that is something went wrong in database connection. So we will get to know about the ID, like we will get to know okay, some exceptions are available, like some exceptions we got in while connecting the database, while connecting to the database. Okay, so we have to use this try and accept method. Okay, after that we define one close database connection, like at a certain point we have to close this connection. Okay, so that's why we define one function which is so we just call this db connection and then we close it. Okay, after that we initialize this connection, and we also initialize one cursor. Okay, this cursor is used to execute the MySQL queries. Okay, like if I want to execute MySQL queries, then I have to open CMD, and then I have to write so many queries to add the data and to retrieve the data, to manipulate the database or the columns or the tables. Okay, so but if I want to execute the queries in Python, at that time this cursor will help to execute. Okay, so that's why we initialize this. Then if I upload some kind of files, like images or mp4 mp3 files or a PDF or document or anything, then I have to store that file in uploads folder. So I'll configure that path static slash uploads. So in static folder there is one folder, that is a uploads. So whenever I'm uploading any kind of file, that file should store in this folder. Okay, so I'll configure this path with our app. Okay, then we have to pass any random string here. So it will like it will authenticate our application. Okay, so after making some certain settings, now we have to start writing some code for front-end functionalities to handle the front-end functionalities. Okay, so first what we did, first we initialize this application. This application contains one function, that is a route. In route we have to pass some parameters. Okay, that is first parameter is our short URL, and second one is a method. Okay, that short URL in the sense if I pass this 192.168.0.103 colon 5000, and after colon 5000 if I add register, okay, it will give like it will redirecting me to that particular page. Okay, for example, if I pass this forget password, okay, then it will redirecting me to somewhere else, like we actually did over here, so it's a pop-up. Okay, but if I have another page, okay, and I want to redirect myself on that page, so via URL I can redirect. Okay, for example, okay, for example, how this URL will work, I'll tell you that for example, you logged in yourself on Twitter. Okay, let's take a live example, that is twitter.com's. Okay, now we are on timeline. Okay, so this is our home page. Okay, if I open this Virat Kohli, now my link will be changed. Okay, I'm V Kohli, so it's a username. Okay, again I change this, and again I type home. It's redirecting me on my timeline. Okay, uh, if I use this URL, okay, now I'm on home page. Okay, and if I change this URL, okay, now it will redirect me on Virat Kohli's home page. Okay, like on a profile page basically. Okay, so this is how this URL works. But after twitter.com, we have to pass any kind of query here. Then it will redirecting us to that particular page. Okay, if I add this, if I add notification or notifications, maybe, yeah, notification, something else, yeah, notifications. So it will show me all the notifications for my particular account. Okay, so this is how this URL will work. Okay, so this is the server name, or we can say that main host name, and after that we have to pass that URLs. So this will work for us like that. This is our server name, and these are the links we have to use. Okay, but if that page is exist, then it will redirecting you on that particular page. If some pop-ups are there like this, okay, then this can't redirecting on that particular pop-up. Okay, because it's a functionality which is based on click, that's why. Okay, so this is how this URL will work. After that, what is the method? Okay, what are the methods we mentioned here, like get and post? But why we use that? Because this get method is used to pass the data via URL. Okay, like if I open Google, uh, let's do this. If I open Google, and if I search some queries like India China relations, so if I submit this if I submit my query to the Google, that Google will send that query to the backend, but via URL it will send. Okay, so this is nothing but a get method. Get method is used to pass the data via URL, but the post method is used to pass the data, uh, like it's hiding the data, and it will pass that data to the at the backend. Okay, after that, this is the function we map to this URL. Okay, and then it will start working, like whatever the code we written under this function, it will start working. Okay, but how? Like if I pass this slash register here, okay, if I pass this slash register here, it will check like first of all it will trigger this functionality. Okay, after triggering this functionality, this function will check whether the triggering method is in a post method or not. Okay, if that triggering method is not available in a post method, then it will return login.html page. Okay, but if that triggering method is in a post method, then it will fetch all email id, username, password, address, postal code, all the things. Okay, like this url we mapped on sign up. Okay, while registering user, at that time user will start entering all the details, like it will start filling this form, and after clicking on sign up, this form will submit to this register. So if you open, I guess, index.html page. No, login. Yeah, see, here we mention one form. Under that form, we have so many multiple inputs, that is a username, email, password, address, postal code, and mobile number. After filling this form, user will hit this submit button. After hitting this submit button, this form will submit to this URL with post method. Okay, so it will open app.py. It will find where is the register. Okay, after finding the register, it will start triggering this function. After triggering this function, this function will check whether that triggering method is in a post method or not. Okay, if that triggering method is in a post method, then it will fetch all the data which is available in that form here. Okay, after fetching the data, what we did, we just initialize that database connection. Also, we initialize one cursor to execute the queries. Okay, now we have to mention what is the query we have to execute. So insert into users. Okay, so for that you have to open SQL yoke. Okay, then you have to click on continue. Here you have to click on connect, and here you have this credit. Just click on this plus button, then on tables click on this plus button, and here we have a users. Okay, so now what we write, insert into users, and there are some column names: username, email address, and password. So just right click on it and click on this view data. So what we have to do, we have to submit username, email id, and password. Username, email id, and password over here. Okay, so we mentioned this query, and we store this query in one variable. Also, what are the whatever the values we have to store in that table, that values we will store in another variable. Okay, after that we will pass both the variables to the cursor execute. Okay, cursor dot execute. So it will execute the query, and it will replace this percentage s with this values. Okay, so it will store this username in this username column, email id will store in this column, and password will store in this column. Okay, after that the next query is for address. Okay, so same thing, address is there, so we will store some values in in address table. Okay, so again we will execute that query, this sql2 and val2. Okay, after submitting both the queries, we have to pass this we have to pass this data. I mean, we have to commit the data. Okay, like if you didn't do this, then your data will store temporarily. Like if you comment this, and if you run whole the code, your data will store permanently. But if you close if you restart your system and then again you are accessing the data, then it's not possible. Okay, because that data is totally permanently stored. Okay, so just comment out and execute this syntax. Okay, so it will store the data permanently in your database table. Okay, after performing this functionality, if we got some errors, like some column names are like whatever the names we pass over here, that maybe typo mistakes are there. So at that time some exceptions should be print. Okay, so we'll get the idea. Okay, we have some exceptions while registering the user, and then we will return to the login.html page. And finally, after performing one of the functionality, we will close the database connection. Okay, and then we will return to the like we will redirect user to the login.html page. Okay, to redirect on different html pages, we use a render template. Okay, this is the function which is available in a Flask here, inside the Flask library. Okay, now we have another function, that is a login function. So same, it will work, but one change is there, that is a query. So what we will do, we will check whether triggering method is in a post method or not. After that we will fetch the email id and password. After that we will check whether that email id and password is available in users table or not. Okay, for that we pass the query, that is select star from users where email id equal to some value and password equal to some values. Okay, so based on this email id and password, we will filter out this table. So whether that email id is and password available or not. If that email id and password available, then our result count will be 1. If not, then result count will be 0. So after getting the values, like after filtering the data, we have to fetch that values. Okay, from database we have to fetch, and we have to use that data in a Python. So like we have to manipulate the data. So that's why we use this cursor dot fetch one. Fetch one in the sense we have to fetch only single row. If we want all columns, then we have to use fetch all. Okay, so this is how you can fetch the data from database, and you can use this or you can manipulate that data in a Python. Okay, after getting the result count, we have to check whether that result count is greater than 0 or not. Okay, if that result count is greater than 0, then we will create one session. Then we will create one session. Okay, that, and then we will redirect user to the root function. Okay, that session is nothing but it works like if user login credentials are valid, then and then we will allow user to access all the functionalities. But if login credentials are not valid, then we have to redirect user on login page. Okay, and this redirect and url function will work like a render template. Okay, after that we have another function for a forget password. Okay, so what you have to do, you just have to open this like you have to open this, click on sign in. Then here you have one option, that is a forget password. Just click on this, and here you have to enter email id, that your original email id you have to enter, so that you can receive one mail. Okay, after receiving the mail you have to enter some digits. Okay, that otp you have to enter, and whatever the password you want to set, that password you have to enter. Okay, then what we will do, like how we send the OTP to the user, like after entering the email ID, we have to submit this email ID, like we have to click on this send OTP. But how it will work basically, so first we will after submitting the data, what we will do, we will fetch that email. Okay, after fetching the email we will check whether that email is available in our database or not. Okay, so for that, while registering yourself here, while signing up, at that time you have to enter your email address. Okay, like your original email address should be, or like should be there. Okay, so we will check whether that entered email address is available or not. if that entered email address is available and result count is 1, then what we will do, like we will generate some random numbers. Okay, after generating some random numbers, we will attach that value with some string, that is value and is your one time password for verification. Okay, after that what we will do, we will create one, like we will initialize the database connection. After that we will initialize the cursor, we will update that OTP. Okay, here we have only like in users column we are storing username, email address and password, but we are not storing any OTP. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to update this null value. Okay, and then so for that we so for that we use some queries, that is update users set OTP and email ID, where email ID equal to some value. So we will set that OTP based on that email ID. So we will check where is the email ID and accordingly we will update that. Okay, after that this is our a Gmail address. Okay, like this is our project Gmail address. Via this email ID we will send mail to the user. Okay, so for that what we did, we just initialize this multi-part. Okay, MIME. After that we pass from address this our company in the sense this project email ID we passed over here. Then in 2 we have to pass user address, user email address. After that we have to enter subject. So while sending any email, same pattern we are following. Like if I click on a compose here. Okay, now I have to enter 2. Okay, then I have to enter subject and I have to enter the content, whatever the content I'm sending to the user. Okay, but by default at the backend, by default it will take this email address. Okay, via this email address it will send mail to the user. So this email address we are passing, we are setting over here from. Into we are setting user's email address. Here we are setting subject, here we are setting body. Okay, like if we have like after that we are attaching that body with MIME text. Okay, after that we are initializing SMTP is in a sense simple mail transfer protocol. So it will use to send the mail to the user. Okay, so to send the mail we have to use that like whatever the email address we have. Okay, from that email address we have to pass over here, and this key is generated by a Google account. So how you like what is the procedure to generate the key is like you have to uh, here you have to click, then sorry here, then click on account. After that scroll down, sorry here, in security. Yes, in security, you have to open two-step verification. Here you have to enter the password. Okay. After entering the password, just turn it on, two-step verification. Now, then scroll down. After scrolling down, you will get app password. Okay. Just open this. If you want to create a new ID, then here you have to select mail. Here you have to select Windows computer and then just click on this generate. After generating the value, you will get one pop-up on, and on that pop-up on the right hand side you will get a key. That key you have to copy and just paste it over here. Okay, and whatever the account you use to generate the key, that account you have to mention over here. Then and then you can send the mail via that particular account. Okay, and after that we will send the mail. to the user, and then we will quit that process. Okay, and after that we will return success message. Otherwise, if something went wrong, then we will return error message. Okay, then if we want to change the password, like after getting the OTP, like after submitting the OTP, I have to change the password. Then here I have to enter OTP, and I have to enter password. After that, I'll access that both the things. Then I'll initialize the cursor and database connection. Then I'll check whether that email ID is available or not. Okay, if that email ID is available, then what I'll do, I'll update the password. Okay, and I'll make a commit statement. Okay, after committing the data, I'll update the password permanently. Okay, and then I'll return the success message. If something went wrong, then I'll return error message. Okay, and then I'll I'll redirect to the user on login page. Okay, after that after login myself, let's do one login. Okay, after making a login, it will redirecting me on root here. So that root function is available. Just control F, press control F, and here you have to enter root. So in line number 490, there is one function that is a root. Okay, now here we use that session. Okay, like while logging the user. Okay, at that time we made some sessions, so we just fetch the data through that session, like username and ID. Okay, after that we initialize the cursor and database connection. Then we fetch few values which is available in product. Okay, so in product table, here we have some products, like product name, product price, product description, images, stocks, categories, or some offers are there. Okay, so these are the values we have to we have to fetch. So what we did, like select star from product where category equal to 1 2 3 4. So we mentioned some category IDs over here. Okay, and then we just fetch all the rows which is available according to the category. Okay, after fetching all the rows, what we did, we just pass this data on index.html page. So if you open this index.html page, you will get this kind of things. Okay, like sorry, if you open this, you will just scroll down yourself, and at line number 557 you will get this kind of code. So this is a Jinja syntax. So what we did, like we stored all the data in a list format. Okay, so we have a list, so we have to pass that list on index.html page. So we have a first product list. So what we did, we just extracting the we are iterating the data, and after that we are applying this for loop on one card. Okay, one card, this is the card. Okay, this is one single card, so we just write one code for this one single card. Okay, because we don't have any idea like how much data admin start adding. Okay, so we have to write one card code. Okay, and then we have to apply for loop on that card, so it will generate multiple cards. Okay, so we just apply for loop over here, and after getting the values we just start assigning to the particular tags. Like in image we have to set fourth value. Okay, that fourth value is the image name. So if you check, this is the 0 1 2 3 and 4. So fourth value is the image, so we mentioned it in image tag. Now after that this is a quick, so our product id, so this is a zeroth value. Product id is a zeroth value, so this is the zeroth value. Then we have a product name, so product id 1 and 0 we mentioned, so 0 and 1. So this is how we mention all the things. We just fetch the data from database, and we we just pass that data to the HTML page. And after getting the data from Python to HTML, we are just start segregating the data, and we are just defining the data in particular tags. We are setting that data in a particular tags. Okay, after that whenever we are clicking on any quick view or on a name of the product. Okay, like if I click on this quick view button, or if I click on this name, it will start redirecting me on single page with product id 1. Okay, so now I have one single one link, okay, with product name link. Okay, like just copy this slash single, open this app.py, control F you have to press, here you have to paste. So now here we have that particular function. Okay, so now what we did, like whenever you are clicking on that quick view button or on a product name, okay, at that time we will fetch that product name. Okay, as well as we will fetch username from session. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to fetch this product id. So through link, via link, this is how you can access. So here we use request.args.get. Okay, and here we use request.form. Okay, so whenever you are fetching the data from form, at that time you have to use request.form. And whenever you are fetching the data from link, okay, via link, at that time you have to use a request.args.get. Okay, if your form contains a post method or get method, doesn't matter, but whenever you are mentioning form just like this, okay, and you are fetching the data from this form, at that time you have to use request.form. And whenever you are fetching the data from link, at that time you have to use request.args.get. Okay, after fetching the product id, we are initializing cursor and like uh, db connection. Okay, after that we are executing one query. Okay, select username comment from user analysis and product id. So here we are getting some comments. After that we are just segregating comment and username. After that here we will fetch product name, price, description, image from product, and we are just segregating, and we are storing all the data in single variables. Okay, and then we will pass whole data on single.html page. And after opening this single.html page, same way we segregate the data, and we are just assigning the data in particular form, and I mean in particular tags. Okay, so same code we did every time. Like whenever you are adding whenever you are entering some values, and whenever you are adding to the cart, at that time same code we used. Just few queries we will few queries we changed, but almost same code is there. Okay, and some python some basic python syntaxes are there. Okay, after that that prediction part, let's come to the prediction part. Okay, here now whenever, let's come to the home page. After that whenever I'm checking out, and whenever I'm entering some values and selecting some values, okay, so first what we did here, we have a checkout. Okay, so whenever we are clicking on this button, at that time we have to fetch all the things like this card number, total amount, category, gender, city, state. This city, state, gender, then categories. Okay, this all the things we have to fetch. Okay, after fetching the data, what we have to do, we have to convert this job list. Okay, like we have one CSV file. Okay, in that CSV file we have a job list, so we have to fetch the job list. Okay, after that we have to do one thing, that is yeah, this is the geocoder. Okay, geocoder is used to access the latitude and longitude based on your IP address. Okay, maybe if I submit this, see, this is my IP address. Okay, 119.0498.73.0702. Okay, so this is my latitude and longitude. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to convert all the data in a float format, because whenever we are feeding this data to the model, at that time we use that data in a float format. Okay, so that's why. After that we have to convert it after that we have to convert it into a data frame. Okay, after converting it into the data frame, we have to pass this data to the model. Okay, that a random forest model or a HMM model. Okay, and after feeding this data to the model, model will start generating sorry, model will start predicting the data, this NB. Okay, and based on this NB we will check whether that output is in a fraud form, like output is a fraud or non-fraud. Okay, this output, if output is a 0, okay, then what we will do, we will initialize the database and cursor, we will insert all the data in non-fraud. Okay, because 0 is a no non-fraud and 1 is a fraud, so we will store all the data in non-fraud table. Here we will store. Okay, and if output is 1, then we will store the data in fraud form, in fraud table. Okay, and then we will send that one message to the user via email. That is in execution video we shown that whenever user entering some payment details here, like I'll show you. So here you have to use any kind of email and some credit card or debit card values you have to enter. Then just enter few values, then CVV. I'll use this. Okay, and just make the payment. Okay, after making the payment, this whole functionality will work, and according to the prediction it will send the mail. Okay, if my payment method is detecting it as a fraud, then it will send the mail to the user, and on that mail there is one link and there is one OTP. Okay, so here we check, like here we send the message, please check your mail ID and verify yourself, OTP is sent on a mail. Okay, so if final prediction is a 0, then we will update the OTP, and if 1, then according to the HMM, fraud is detected. Okay, and here we are just resetting the OTP, sorry, resending the OTP. Then here we are rechecking the OTP. If that OTP is correct, then we will we will secure the payment. And if OTP is invalid, then we will show one message, that is OTP is your OTP is invalid. Okay, so this is how this all the functionalities will work. Almost all code is same, just a prediction code is a different. So just please refer this code, and please like if you have some doubts, please give us a call. We will we will resolve all the queries over there. And if you didn't get any kind of things, then just rewind the video and check all the things. Thank you.